Hello everybody, Reggie Time here, and you join me right at the start of a short session of No Limit Hold'em 3-1, as they call it on PP Poker, or Pineapple as the rest of the world calls it. I know these videos aren't super popular on YouTube in terms of the views they get, but the game is rapidly growing in popularity, and I'm very keen to keep spreading the word about this game. Here we go, I guess, with the Ace King against the Queens. How are we going to run today? I don't want to run it twice, do I? Ah, fuck it, we'll run it twice. We'll run it twice, and we win the first one, which makes you wish we'd only run it once now, but never mind. And we lose a second. Yeah, so this game, it's exactly the same as No Limit Hold'em in terms of how it plays. Post-flop, pre-flop, the only difference is, as you see, you get 3 cards, you throw one of them away before any betting, and then it plays like No Limit Hold'em. I am absolutely loving this game. The guys who have tried it, who have already taken the leap into it, I'm getting very positive feedback from them. They fucking love it too. Because there's just that little bit more action than No Limit, but it's no less complicated than No Limit. So please do show the love for the video if you're a regular viewer. Hit the likes, hit the shares, subscribe, comment, all of those things, because the word needs to be spread about this game, because it is a lot. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot softer than No Limit, as you can see by the V-pips of the players around the tables. So it's just like, basically, it's just like soft No Limit games for you all. It's really something that I think genuinely has a future in these clubs. I think it's just going to grow and grow. It appears to be becoming more popular. There's more games running. As isn't spreading to the higher stakes as much as I would like to see yet, but that will happen. Without question, that will happen. And you want to be in the ground floor of this. I'm in on the ground floor of it, and I'm liking being on the ground floor. You guys should want to be on the ground floor of it too. Pill 1C with the A7, although I don't love it. And we have severe kicker issues. Now I think our kicker issues are less of an issue because maybe nobody has an ace. I think this is too thin to bet though. I think we're just going to check. And we chop it up with the other A7. So please do give the video a chance to stick with it. I know it's not No Limit that... Am I taking him right? Yeah. I know it's not No Limit that you guys... Like, a lot of my people watch my videos are No Limit savants. But it's... For all intents and purposes, it is No Limit. So please don't be like, oh god, it's another non-No Limit video. Can't be arsed with that. I'm turning it off. Please do stick with it. And you will definitely enjoy the action, I promise you. I'm going to try and make multiple videos this week, and to be honest, they're probably all going to be of this game. And not because I want to ram it down people's throats, just because I'm enjoying... More because I'm enjoying playing it a lot, and I know you guys will too. And sometimes, you know, we all need a little bit of encouragement to change in life, whether that's changing whatever it is, jobs, hairstyles, poker games. Change isn't something that a lot of people are comfortable with. I get that, but just play one session. If you're in these clubs, or you want to be in these clubs, just play one session, see what you think. I'm not going to play the King Jack. I mean, this guy looks like he's action. Don't get me wrong. Does fake Brian. Looks like he's not fake news in terms of how he wants action. But we're not going to start defending the King Jack suited out of position just yet to him. I'm going to double barrel here with we don't need to bet the king 8 now because we do have a little bit of showdown value. I still think I want to try and keep getting some thinnish value or build the pot. I'm going to check back the river now. No more value to be had, I don't think. I'm going to 3-bet the ace jack and then just not fold it. And we did get a little bit extra value from the 7-9. We're not folding it against this stack depth against a player who's playing a 70% of hands. And he folds rather remarkably and shows 3-4. Fair enough. Fair enough, Chief. Interesting flop here. Right, so we have an open and a 3-bet. Going to flat the button with the 2 jacks. I think we're going to... We know this fellow, we've met him before, he's a member of the Facebook group, not one of my players. He's pretty snug, so we're not going to get too out of line. Just going to fold the jacks. Sadly, we do not improve with the Queen 4. I think, do we overbet here? Let's go for it. Let's go for the overbet. I think we get through Van Christoph a lot here. Just whether we get through the whale, and we do get through, which is nice. I'm not a huge fan of overbetting with missed flush draws because it seems pretty obvious sometimes that the draws have missed, but when it's like a 4-line straight and the pre-flop aggressor looks to have given up on the turn, then I can get more on board with it. I should say what games we're playing here. This is a Filipino club, and we're playing 10 cent, 20 cent blinds. Same here. And this is Australian dollars. So this is a smaller stakes table that we're at. These two were like 20NL US. This is 20NL Australian. Probably only going to play for around 40 minutes because I had a woeful night's sleep, or lack of sleep, so I didn't get up until 1:15 in the afternoon. It's currently 2:10 and I need to be leaving the house around 3 o'clock, so I'm probably going to play for around maybe another 40 minutes from now. Then I can set the video up doing its thing whilst I go out and collect the young man that I'm working with this afternoon. As you can see in the games that most of the people I work with play, which is like mostly micro stakes, these games are littered with some pretty bad players. Loose passive tends to be the generals type player type we come up against. Between loose passive and super loose passive, you get the occasional. I mean, this guy probably shouldn't be orange. He probably needs to be red. He's a regular. I know he's a regular. Well, like you say, 34-12, 71-2. I mean, this guy's just a massive whale. Sadly, he's losing all his money. We've got another 68% VPP. The games are, the higher you get, I've noticed, the more regulars play. But given most of my guys are like 5NL, 10NL, 20NL players, then these games are right in their wheelhouse. And if you beat No Limit Hold'em, or if you do okay at No Limit Hold'em, you will do even better in this game, because there's just more. The game quality is just better. There's just less regs per table, more loose passive players per table. We're not going to set mine against that stack depth. I mean, if you're breaking even playing No Limit against a table where they say there's usually 3 regs, you and 2 fishish type players, and then you're going to get yourself into games where there's maybe 2 regs, you and fishy players, and you can see straight away how that's going to have a positive effect on your win rate. I mean, I hate them in 3-bet here, but the guy's a 68 VPip, so he's going to get it in, and he actually has a worse hand, which is pleasant for us. We've been 3-bet by our friend here, and King Queen off is just not going to do very well, so we're going to fold it. Fake Brian 3-bets here, we're just going to YOLO it, but he doesn't. Presuming our friend here has like something between jacks and queens. Maybe he has an ace that he was trying to get cute with on the flop. Go with the big old squeeze here with the ace jack suited out of position. And we're going to go with the small bet here with the nuts. Second pair is going to be good for a check to begin with. We're going to start sizing up now. What do we do on this river? We have 2 pairs. I think we can just like block and cry if we get raised. And then we just take it down. So as you can see, if you're stuck with it this far, it really is just, it's No Limit, isn't it? It's just No Limit Hold'em. You just get better starting hands. Again, not set mine in here against stack depth. This is the guy we're all looking to get involved with. So hope he doesn't leave the table, because he's got lots of big blinds and he's quite liberal in his use of them. I think the Filipino club is probably a better club right now than the Australian club when it comes to both game quality and traffic. But the Australian club is certainly very good in the mornings. Call once with the jacks because he just doesn't have to have an ace. Obviously not going to bet the river, and he did just have pocket eights. Keep the suited element of this. And I'm still not quite sure. I had King, Queen, Jack earlier. The Queen and the Jack were suited. And I decided to sacrifice the suitedness for the extra high card value. And that's one thing I'm not sure of yet. I think high card strength is important, but you know, I don't know. That's the one part. Well, not the one part. There's plenty of stuff I still got to learn about all poker games, including No Limit. Never mind this game. But one of the more rudimentary questions is King Queen off versus King Jack suited. Now we know obviously in raw equity terms, King Queen off's a far stronger hand. But in terms of like post-flop playability, then Queen Jack will definitely start to appear more attractive. I think I'm probably going to stick with just keeping the raw high card strength. But yeah, I think like with King, Queen, Jack, with the Queen and the Jack suited, I think it's a clear, let's go with the King, Queen element of the hand. But I think with Jack 8, 9, as this was, with the Jack and the 8 suited, then I think perhaps next sacrificing the 9 for the suitedness probably makes some sense. Hope one of these guys here doesn't just pile it in, because that would make me sad. They don't, but sadly we don't flop very well. And we're not going to be putting a bet into two people who both VP over 50%. We're just going to give up or try and like just get there with something. That's a price we can call. 10 ball, please. Oh, we'll take a king, but 10 would be lovely. Nope. Sadly over here, looks like our friend is not having a good time of it at the moment. Aha. Hello, Andrew. Why aren't you tagged, Andrew? Why aren't you tagged, sir? I guess we just haven't played much. Andrew is someone I've known for quite a while now. We were talking just before this video actually about these games, and he appears to have jumped in. Good luck, Andrew. I mean, normally I'm rooting for the fish here, but we'll root for Andrew. It seems like rooting for Andrew wasn't enough to get him the W. But we do get second place, which is the fish gets the money. That's no compensation to Andrew. Andrew's clearly going to be a bit annoyed with the situation, but from my point of view, if we don't get to sweat Andrew winning the pot, at least we get to see the pot going to the guy with the 45 VPIP. So, for me, the cloud has a silver lining. I don't think Andrew will see it that way. Not going to 3-bet here, because all we do by 3-betting is kind of force the players we all want to play pots with out of the pot, and then also forces Andrew to narrow his range significantly to a point where Jacks probably wouldn't be doing very good versus any 4-bets from Andrew. We get squeezed by our other friend over here. And Andrew makes life easy for us. Andrew rivers a boat. Bet he hated that spade at first, but he's like, fuck's sake! And then he realised it was a boat building spade, and he probably cheered up quite rapidly. I don't understand our friend here, and he seems like a nice guy, to be fair. He does seem like a nice guy, so I'm not going to needle him. I needled him the other week, before I knew he was a friend of the Facebook group. Really don't understand why he doesn't play deep stacks. I mean, he's 300 bigs deep with an absolute whopper. There's a good chance you're probably going to watch the video, so I'd be interested. I mean, maybe that you'll top up in a moment, but I'd be interested to try and learn why you... Fucking hell, Andrew runs well in this game. Well, the runs well in terms of he's had jacks, queens, and queens in 3 fucking hands. Sadly, he's lost 2 of them, which is just unfortunate, I guess. Yeah, we're going back to Van Christov. Yeah, I'd be interested to know why you don't, you know, buy in for more to make sure you at least have decent stacks versus the weakest players, and wherever you can, try and cover them. Take a stab here with our low end open ender. Hope to take it down. If we get raised, it's a trivial fold. If we get called, then we have to get there. I think we have to squeeze the ace queen here against 2 very loose opponents. I think it's mandatory. And we take it, which we're delighted to do. What is happening here? Checks all the way to the river, then he just bombs 10x potting. Have you got a flush there? Did you make a flush on the river? Letting the ace 10 offsuit go versus under the gun. Fish or no fish, it's just ace 10 off, and it's not very pretty. Going to fold the jack 7 suit. I was tempted to limp along, I was tempted to squeeze, then I landed on fold. I rolled low. I rolled a low one, and when we roll low, we know what we've got to do. We've got to take the passive option, or the tight option. Don't think anyone's got a better worse hand, so we can't bet call, but we maybe... Well, I don't even know what we get called by, really. No, maybe that's a bad bet. I don't really know what worse calls here. Yeah, don't think that was a particularly astute wager by me. But check calling felt shit too. Same reason as before with the queens, we're not 3-betting Andrew, we're just going to call. Let these guys come into the pot, because they're the guys we're not making money long term from Andrew. He's irregular, but we do make money long term from these guys, so we don't want these guys out of the pot really. I don't really want to check call here. We can again. We saw this guy. I think it was this guy called down earlier with like a second pairish type hand. We've been check raised though, so we'll take that information and use it wisely. We're not going to see bet the ace king. Well, we didn't get a chance to see bet anyway because jury decided 7-8-3 was enough for him to commit his chips. So let me know what you think of the game. If you got this far in the video and you still think, you know what, I'm not sure this game is for me, then I'd be interested to know why. Not so I can like argue with you and give counterpoints. I'm just interested because I think it's such a good game. I'm interested to understand the point of view of people who are like, I don't think it's for me. I mean, obviously, if you're not a no limit player, then it's, you know, if you're someone who plays something other than no limit, if you're a, I don't know, Padugi player, for example, then yeah, it's probably not going to be for you. But if you're like a regular no limit grinder, but you don't fancy this game, and I promise I won't be like in your face or like, oh, I think you're wrong. I won't even reply. I'll just be like, just tell me your opinions on why you think this game, or why you don't find this game appealing as a no limit player, because I'm interested. To me, how I see it is, as you all know, I was getting very bored with No Limit Hold'em. I was starting to branch out into PLO, etc., etc. This has dragged me right back from all of that and just brought me right back into the No Limit Hold'em streets. And I'm actually playing No Limit Hold'em on Poker Bros on the night shift, because this has like rekindled my interest in No Limit in general. So, you know, from my perspective, it's just a really good no limit game, and I personally wouldn't understand why anyone who plays no limit wouldn't want to play these games, just because they're just softer than no limit. They play the same, but they're just softer. But people will have the reasons for not wanting to do it, and I'm interested in hearing what those reasons are. This guy has fun, doesn't he? 18/2. Snap balls for the 1/5 pot c-bet. We're enjoying fucking around with that lately. He's want to go off topic on the spamming this game front. I watched some of the Negreanu and Polk heads up challenge last week, and taking your lead from the guy who got fucking crushed probably isn't a good idea, but I really, really, really enjoyed watching Negreanu make ridiculously tiny flop c-bets, and you know, they seem to work with a reasonable frequency. And monkey see, monkey do. On certain boards now, I'm, you know, with kind of lots of my range, I'm really enjoying just making stupidly small flop c-bets, and then just usually continuing on the turn at a lower frequency with much larger sizings, both with my bluffs and with my value. But yeah, don't really know why I'm doing it, don't really know what I'm achieving by doing it, but I am enjoying using the absurdly small flop C bets. If nothing else, I find it amusing. Wow. Has our friend lost his mind? Has he just got a strong hand? I don't think he does that with pocket aces. I don't think he does that with pocket kings. We also block both of those holdings. We're going to give him some action. He might be tilting. He might just have an ace queen and be like, ah, fuck you all. We're going to give him action. Queens. He wants to win it 3 times. Well, since you're a friend of the YouTube, Facebook and YouTube, do it. Normally I wouldn't. I'd be like, no, fuck you. You wanted to gamble. Let's gamble. But, yeah. Because I know you. Oh, I'm familiar with you. Will accede to your demands. And we're going to YOLO it with the Queen Jack. Oh, no, we're not. Not because he's come along now. This has to be a trap. Surely this has to be a trap. Surely he's not just peeling 18 bigs with like pocket 8s here or something like that. Okay. Right then. I mean, we were still in bad shape. But, by Jove. By Jove, this man's a regular and he just called it an 18 big blind all in with King 9 suited. Not closing the action. That is interesting. Gonna go with quarter pot min donkey with our draw because Daniel Negreanu. Call and get there. No, we didn't call and get there. Still getting a damn fine price though, so we're going to have another look. And we didn't get there. And we're just going to fold. I think with 2 overs and some back doors, we're going to take a stab on this flop. And the little stab works. And then some mega nit just goes with an overbet in a limp pot. Good game, sir. Good game. That's how you want to live your life. That's just fine by me. Apparently we get aces for the first time in the video. We love to see that. going to go with a smallish bet here with our backdoor lots of things. Do we pick up enough equity here to just like overbet? I think we pick up enough equity with our fold equity, and we do take it down. Tiny C-bet here versus Andrew. I'm just going to go small 3 streets here, I think. And we get 3 streets. 3 small streets, admittedly, but we've still got 3 streets. 5x, no thank you. No thank you, sir. We'll pass. Sometimes I regret squeezing these hands, because when we get 4-bet we have to fold a very pretty hand. But against 2 fish, I think it's just too strong. Okay, we're going with a tiny C-bet. Obviously at this point we're not going to be folding, and he just folds anyway. Maybe D-Negs is onto something. Well, not D-Negs, let's face it. The way he was doing it, like, you know, like he was just addicted to it. Obviously his team have told him to do it. So if it was a D-Negs thought out strategy, I wouldn't be as keen on it. But he's obviously got a team of good players helping him. And if they've told him, you know what, you can C-bet 1/5 pot versus Doug Polk and it not be a bad strategy, then how can it not be a bad strategy in these games too? And like I say, I'm using it. I don't really know what I'm hoping to achieve with it. I think what it does do is it allows us to get thin value. It allows us to C-bet more of our range, and as you can see, people are folding to the small bets. And it also, given that I don't expect people to be bluff raising versus it too often, it does get us some relatively cheap information. So that's the reason why I'm doing it now. None of them, well, 2 of them good reasons. The information part will probably make some of your fucking toenails itch. But yeah, I guess that's why I'm doing it for the time being. Thin value. Cheap bluffs and information. If we want to felt this guy, we need to size up on the turn. If we want to try and felt him. And also it does, I guess, it gets people to turns and rivers with wider ranges because it just won't fold to the smaller bets. So sometimes you get to make successful bluffs in bigger pots too. So there you go. There's my reasoning for doing what I'm doing. Feel free to pick it apart. I probably won't listen, but feel free anyway. Good luck, Andrew. If you're bluffing, I hope he folds. I don't think you're bluffing when you use that size. I suspect you have... I was going to say a set of 8s, but I did suspect you had a set when you went that big. Presuming you were targeting his like ace-x hands. Go with the over limp. Glad we went with the over limp because now we can just fold. Well, I would have folded anyway, of course, but it would have cost me an extra 3.5 blinds to not see a flop. I think we are going to go for the ISO this time. Gonna be another victory for the small c-bet. Sure is. Who says the passive players never fold? They fold when they've got fuck all. And you don't need a lot of nudging when they've got fuck all to make the folds either by the, by the look of things. Deuces. We could have got the guy in the small blind who's got a lot of chips. We're going to try and we're going to put that. Always raise deuces some early positions, especially when the short stacks behind. But the guy in the big blind is such good action that I think it's a fine, reasonable play. We do get squeezed, which is unfortunate. Squeeze the ace queen up with the limpers. Wouldn't love to see a jam from him, because the limp jam's normally strength. It's a 1 in the lost column for the small c-bet. Seven ball, please. Boo. Straddle and then just a call from him. He might utilise his straddle here and then just squeeze, which will make me sad. It doesn't matter because he's done it, so we are well and truly out. Can I just draw your attention to the fact someone's put 50 blinds in pre-flop with the 7 and the 8? I hope to see that in no limit hold'em. When lots of regs are at your table. I can tell you what, it's not very often, I know that much. Should have fucking kept the 4 there. Reggie! Could have completed if we kept the 4. Probably going to complete anyway, but... Three-way all in where the worst hand romps to victory. Then we're just going to play to our blinds and then we're going to knock it on the head. I was going to say, don't see any scenario where we fall to this guy. I'm going to keep representing nothing though. And we win. Maybe we could have got some thin value on that river. Maybe not. Make sure we don't put any more blinds in at these tables, because the clock will be against me if we do. We've seen this guy call squeezes. Oh, well, I'm not going to do anything now with the nines, but we've seen him call big squeezes pretty light in the past. He's had the king nine, didn't he? But this time we're just going to be out. And threes decided it was good enough to put 30 blinds in with. Right, Reggie, no more blinds. Get ready to stand up. Don't stand up when you've got showdown value though, Reggie. That's just silly. Right, here we're going to stand up in a moment. Doesn't let us stand till everyone's discarded. So we are out of here. We are going to be out of here. And there's one more hand to play here. We'll quickly check the scores on the doors for our tables. And then we'll wrap it up. So, start at the Aussie dollar table. We won $1.08. Over here we lost 91 chips, which is... What the fuck is 91 chips? $2. And over here we won 712 chips, which is around $14. So we made around $13 in that short session. It wasn't about whether I win or lose, it was much more about spreading the game, spreading the word. There are going to be more of these videos this week, so if you don't like them, then maybe you might want to hit the unsubscribe, which you'll never hear anyone who creates content saying. But hopefully you won't. Hopefully you'll stick with it. Hopefully you'll get to enjoy the games. And some of you will get in touch and ask to get involved. Take care, everybody. See you again tomorrow, hopefully. And bye-bye for now.